What up, what up, what up, man? It's your man Noah. We back with the gang, man. We got my dog AD. We got my guy C-Mac. We got my guy Les with me, man. We back for another installment. You know, Sitting Talk Sports. We are the intersection of sports and culture. We back here for another installment, man. Make sure you guys are tapped in with us. S&T Sports across all social media platforms, sittingtalksports.com, and make sure you're tapped in with the YouTube. Tell a friend and tell a friend. We on here talking about it, man. Talk about it with us. We back for another installment, man. I got some good guys with me. We got some good subjects to talk about in the world of sports, man. So we're going to jump right into it. First order of business, we're going to start with Les because this is his team, and we're going to see how you felt about that game yesterday, man. Your Patriots, man. What's up with it?
So if you remember, I thought they could win 2 to the next 3, and Dallas would be the game they would lose.
Mm-hmm.
I started watching the game, and then I got excited. I was like, oh, shoot, I think we can win this game. And then they just can't stop making mistakes. They just keep making mistakes. It's like an anti-universe, when Superman went into another parallel universe, something like. You dude, I'm telling you, it's insane because you watch the Patriots for 20 years make other teams make the mistakes to lose games.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, I understand Brady's not there, but the discipline, like, I didn't think it would be this bad. I didn't think it would be this bad. They could have won that game. So I'm a little hurt about it. Because I thought we had it. Like, I let myself get out of my objective space and start really like, wait, we can win this game. And it got me. It got me. So I'm hurt.
Oh man. I know AD got the packet of the gat on his lap right now about this subject. So we're gonna let AD stay cool. AD got the joint on his lap. We're gonna go with C-Mac, and then we're gonna let AD shoot the club up.
It's a tale of drop passes. Right? Aguilar had one guy to beat if he caught that pass. Right? Like a safety, right? N'Keal Harry then has another drop who's trash. Like, N'Keal Harry's trash, bro. And then I think sometimes the Patriots, I think Josh McDaniels really outsmarts himself when he game plans, because I think both tight ends, Henry and Smith, I think they could run the same seam route that Gronk used to run. And it's not, I think because he's such a young quarterback, people are going to be mad at the tight ends, but I think they keep them in so much to protect Mac Jones. It's crazy. And then your options are limited because now teams aren't, they're only giving up the middle, and they know you ain't got no breakaway speed, right? You ain't got no gap speed, nothing like that. So they'll give up the dink and dunk here and there. So that's what happened. Les is right. It looked like they're a Patriots team that was just tanking, right? Just like, yo, let's just find a way to lose. Even though the Cowboys were just like, I don't know how anybody could be a Cowboys fan, because I just think the Cowboys, they're just not intimidating. I feel like any team could beat the Cowboys.
They watermelons. They big, but they crack easy. I appreciate that, C-Mac. AD, you looking like you ready to let off a couple. Look like you hanging out the window with it.
Yo, like, I'm going to be honest with you. I knew the Patriots was going to play them tough.
Right.
I really did. I knew they were going to play them tough. Right. Well, that Foxborough thing is over. They're 0-4 this year at home. I don't want to hear none of that. The
greatest pilgrim ever is not coming through them doors, AD?
Yeah, the Messiah's not there, bro. I told y'all. Remember Belichick's record is below 500, right? What's Belichick's record right now without Brady? 9-13.
I don't know. They want to talk about that, AD.
I want to talk about that because I don't think that's a fair comparison. You need a quarterback.
He has a quarterback. He has a quarterback. Mac Jones is nice. Let's not say he's not. He's good.
I didn't say he wasn't.
Good. He's good. It's not him. It's not him. Y'all touched on it. It's Josh McDaniels with his vanilla play schemes. Also, Corey brought it up too. Because Brady's not there to do all those checks and have people where they need to be, and Mac Jones is still learning that sophisticated system, you can't let those tight ends go, like Corey was talking about. Because Henry is the better receiver. Like, he's the one who needs to get all the not all the receptions, but to be used more. But at the same time, you got to protect the young man.
Right.
You got to protect them. They did everything they were supposed to. They pounded. Harris had 101 yards. You know what I mean? It's just going to be a lot of this. You know what I mean? A lot of more victories and not winning the war.
More victories is for minor league coaches, AD.
I think you could make the argument outside of the St. Louis game, not St. Louis game, excuse me, the Saints game. They could have won every game they played this year.
And that's what's going to keep happening to fans like you, Les. That's what's going to keep happening to you, Les. You're going to keep getting brokenhearted. They're going to have your feelings up for joy. They're playing so well. And then they're going to crack. Just like I knew they was going to crack. And this how I knew they was going to lose. I called it before that. I was like, they let that boy Lamb have 100 yards, they are going to lose. And
it's the Belichick philosophy, right? You take away somebody, and that one guy that has to get hits. Like, I knew the Patriots were going to lose when Homie was running for that touchdown. When we came back and scored. I'm a Bears fan. When they came back and scored right away, and Homie was running, and he couldn't believe he was wide open. He couldn't believe that nobody was catching it. All I saw was all teeth. And I was like, yeah, they're gonna lose.
You know why, right?
He was happy to be there.
Right? Because that's the biggest play of the year.
Yeah.
Like they're not gonna have another probably 75-yard play the rest of the year.
Tell me what happened on that pick six.
I mean, Bourne let him down. Bourne let him down. He dropped it, and Diggs is a ball hawk, and he took it right to the house.
Diggs is probably going to hoist a couple trophies this year. I mean, I'm not talking.
That's player of the year.
But we're talking Depoy. He might even be sniffing at Rookie of the Year the way he's playing. I think he's got a pick in every game this season.
He does. He has a pick in every game, and he has one game when he has two.
And I want y'all to see in one of those interceptions. He Mac Jones, he was toying with Mac Jones, right? Off the snap. He tried to close the gap on the outside receiver, but then he made a beeline back to the middle, and then he intercepted him. Because Mac Jones if you're a quarterback, you're looking at the free safety immediately off the rip, just to see where he's going and what play design they had, what scheme they had defensively.
Wiz, hold up. Wiz just chimed in. Wiz said, "Who are we blaming for the Pats record?" I'm going to tap in on this subject too, but we're going to do this real quick because Wiz is tapping in. Les, who are you blaming right now?
The coach and GM, mostly the GM.
Coach
and
the
GM.
Belichick.
Thank
He's
you.
to blame.
C-Mac, who are you blaming?
I'm blaming Josh McDaniels.
Okay.
I'm blaming Josh McDaniels. I can't blame the GM because they should be 5-1 right now. If the players didn't make some mistakes, yeah, and they clearly you got the players in the right place, but they're not delivering. If dude's gonna be dropping passes and doing all the other dumb shit,
right? AD, who you blaming? I know who you blaming, AD. Who you blaming, AD?
I got 20% Josh McDaniels, 80% Bill Belichick.
Okay, that's fair.
Does the defensive coach get any blame?
And one thing really quick about Diggs is for a cornerback, right? They move him around so well, like he's a safety. Like like a lot of what Ramsey's doing. If you look at what Jalen Ramsey does, they're doing the same thing with Diggs, and that's what makes him elite at what he's doing right now. Because he is a corner.
He's just a dynamic talent. He's just he's just an elite defensive back, and all that's encompassing. I want to say, I want to blame. I'm gonna say because Belichick is the GM as well. I'm gonna give 60% to the coach and the GM, and I'm gonna give about 40%. I'll give the rest of the blame to Josh McDaniels. I want to just tap in on the subject really quick. Y'all paid Jonnu Smith $50 million. $50 million in the most lucrative offseason in NFL history. As a football player, when I saw the two tight ends, the two marquee tight ends of the free agency get signed to the same team, I'm automatically thinking, I'm a football player. I'm thinking 22 personnel. I'm thinking 12 personnel, meaning that those two tight ends should be able to work on the field kind of simultaneously. And we've seen this in New England before. We've seen Aaron Hernandez, and we've seen Gronk make a living on those teams. We've seen that work before in this exact same system with the exact same offensive coordinator. So when I'm seeing it not manifest, I'm really having to wonder. Excuse me, I can't give 40% to Josh McDaniels. I'm gonna give 20% to Josh McDaniels and then 20% to the players, because a lot of what is being drawn up isn't being executed properly. We spoke about the drops. We spoke about the routes maybe not being run. And I think AD tapped in on this a few weeks ago. We're talking about the most extensive playbook in the league by far. We've seen some of the greatest NFL talents on both sides of the ball come to New England and not be able to cut it because those playbooks look like encyclopedias. So there's a lot of things working against them. And this also brings me to one of my original points on the show. I think the concept of rebuilding teams is flawed when you go and get a quarterback first. How many times have we seen these elite rookie quarterbacks coming out of college, out of pro-style systems, coming into NFL programs with no help, and it doesn't work? You look at a guy like Sam Darnold. Now, granted, he's been struggling a little in Carolina recently, but Sam Darnold is one of a million. I don't believe it's the right idea to rebuild with the quarterback, because you're going to get him out there. He's going to get his ass kicked. He's going to get hit a bunch of times. He's going to lose his confidence. You put these quarterbacks in these situations where they can't win. Mac Jones doesn't have a receiver any better than any of us on this screen right now. I'm pretty sure I can run a time route better than most of the guys on that.
I will say that Myers catches everything.
He does, but I mean,
you know what's shocking though?
But he's hard. Myers, he doesn't get open. He gives you small windows. He has like what's the term? Catch radius. His catch radius isn't that wide, so
it's not.
I mean, let's.
I was surprised though. I was surprised that he only had he caught his first touchdown yesterday. I was surprised.
And then someone blew it on a penalty.
Exactly.
So I'm gonna blame the players. I'm gonna give the players a little more blame, because what I do know is that Josh McDaniels can coach. He can run an offense. I do know that. What I don't know is if these players are able to execute what it is that he's calling. Because again, I've seen this work on paper. I've seen this work. Again, two elite tight ends. 22 personnel, 12 personnel. For those who don't know what that means, 22 personnel is 2 running backs, 2 tight ends on the field, most snaps. 12 personnel is 1 running back and 2 tight ends on the field, most snaps. That's how you run your offense based on the strength of your offense. The strength of that offense is those 2 tight ends. Those are the marquee signings. Those are the money makers on that offense. And they're not executing properly. And then 2, I just don't believe that they're being used properly, because the seams are there.
They are.
I watched Gronk make a living on seam passes. Short, deep option, 10-yard option routes, even skinny post routes down the seam. Like, I've seen that work. And then you have 2 guys who are really good at catching the ball and athletic and can do these things, and they're just not being used properly. I mean, one thing I will say is, damn, I'm glad I'm not a Patriots fan, because it is real crunchy in Foxborough right now. I mean, unless I hear you, a few of those games should have been won. But these are the growing pains of, one, having a new quarterback and having a new offensive system. You know what I mean? It's not just a rookie quarterback. Jonnu Smith is a rookie to this team. Hunter Henry's a rookie to this team. A lot of these guys, Aguilar, you got some of your main cogs just fitting in and trying to gain cohesion in season. It's not always an easy thing to do.
To not even give them to not even throw at them though is a problem, right? Because you're not even giving them a chance to make a play.
Right.
Like you can make Russell Wilson made a living just throwing the ball in the area of Jimmy Graham, right? And I'm not comparing these to Jimmy Graham, but at least I know John Smith could actually like box you out and make a play.
Give him a 50-50 ball. Give him a 50-50 ball. You have to.
That's not even happening, and that really tells me that they're being too conservative with the quarterback.
They're not targeting.
No.
They're not targeting him a lot at all.
It's a couple things.
I'm playing like shit too. Let's not make it.
It's a couple things. It's also that I guarantee Smith doesn't know the playbook. I guarantee he's struggling with the playbook.
That's why too many passes off of his hands. That means he's not in the space that he should be. The timing route's way off because he's not where he should be.
Exactly.
The interception they had 2 weeks ago when he dove for the pass. If he was where he was supposed to be, that's a completion. He's up the field, up the sideline. But he wasn't where he's supposed to be because, again, we're talking about a Bible-sized playbook. We're talking about Quran-sized playbooks. I mean, I said this about my own team, the New York Giants, that, we need a little bit of time to get cohesive. I'm going to afford the Patriots.
10 years.
Watch your mouth, C-Mac. Watch your mouth.
Shouldn't a great coach...
But no, can I ask you, why don't y'all sign Cam? Would Cam make a difference?
Hell no.
Cam,
no.
I don't know. I don't know. Listen. Daniel Jones is not playing bad football. He had a bad game yesterday, but for the season, he's not playing bad football. He only had two turnovers prior to yesterday. He's playing pretty good football. Again,
the Rams.
We just can't get healthy and we can't pull it together. And again, some of the same issue where we're looking to bring in all this talent and make it cohesive and make it gel in season. It's not easy.
I'm mad they don't use Galladay, man, like that. But he's hurt right now.
He's always hurt.
He's hurt, bro.
I mean,
even the first 2 or 3 games, man.
He was coming off an injury to begin the season, so he wasn't 100%. But he was just getting his rhythm. He had a bunch of targets the last game, not the game that just passed, the game before. But not for nothing, Kenny Galladay's last healthy season, he was a top 5 receiver in terms of data, in terms of raw production, yards, touchdowns, receptions, targets. He was top 5 in Detroit 2 years ago. But nonetheless, we're not going to get into my Giants right now because that's not on my list of things to do right now. So I'm gonna absolve myself.
We know.
We'll talk about them after we get a dub.
I watched the Giants yesterday because of you, bro.
I appreciate that, C-Mac. Run them ratings up, man. Let my guys get paid. Run them ratings up, man. We gotta pay Saquon, man. Get that money up. AD, what Fat Joe said, you gotta relax. You gotta relax, fellas. We gonna keep the NFL train moving, man. A lot of concerns were raised about this next particular team. Let's talk about the Chiefs. The Chiefs went into Washington. Were they in Washington, AD? They were in Washington.
They went into Washington on Sean Taylor Day and whooped their ass.
Right. Are we no longer worried? Are we hitting the red alert anymore? What are we doing?
I'm still worried, and this is why This is why I'm still worried. Andy Reid is worried. Andy Reid in his press game interview said it. He was like, the turnovers is killing us. They had 3 turnovers yesterday. Right. Pat Mahomes threw 2 picks.
Wild ones too.
One of them was wild. One of them was Tyreek Hill's fault. He just dropped it.
Right.
And then they had a fumble too.
He didn't want to throw it away. One of them. And
I don't know what that was.
Patty does that too often. He does that too often, and because he wows us on the next play, we kind of give it a pass. But he does that a little too often for me. He doesn't take care of the ball.
He's starting to take even more chances because he's getting more confidence of doing that fuckery.
Right.
I mean,
that's not what you want to develop in that young man.
So again,
you owe him a half a day.
It's definitely a concern when you have a man who, in his first few years, never really turned over the ball. This man already thrown 8 interceptions and he's fumbled
6 over last year. He had 6 interceptions last year.
And he already lost 3 fumbles.
Right.
So he has 11 turnovers on the year already. Right. You know what I mean?
And it's only so much you can make up. You know what I mean? He's always thinking like I could just get the points back.
Yeah, their defense ain't getting better either. So the more pressure is going to be on him. So they have to value the ball to keep those offensive possessions, to put more pressure because they will score if they don't turn over the ball.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know about. I think right now they're going to lose in the in the divisional series.
To who?
I think
this is not
right
baseball.
now. I don't think their defense can stop Baltimore.
Somebody said the divisional series.
This ain't baseball, Corey.
I'm sorry, the divisional round.
Whatever.
Whatever. Right.
Second round. I got you. Second round.
The second round. They're gonna lose in the second round. That's funny because some shit just came across my phone about the Red Sox. But I think they're gonna lose right now there because I think that Hardman's not getting it done, right? And as far he's just a one-trick pony, right? He's not versatile as a wide receiver. I don't think Pringle gets it done, right? I think they took a chance on Josh Gordon, and because I think when Sammy Watkins was healthy, Sammy Watkins would always whenever Mahomes broke a play, whenever there's a broken play, Sammy Watkins knew what to do, right? I don't think Pringle does, huh?
He's not coming through those doors.
No, he's not. He's in Baltimore, right? So he's doing that for Baltimore, right? And he's not getting a ton of catches, but when he does, he gets you a first down or whatever. So I don't think those receivers, he don't have a versatile receiving core, right? Now Kelce looks a little slow, but I don't want to blame that on him.
He's
because
33.
I think Mahomes is making bad decisions. I don't think I've never seen Kelce. Kelce used to run his route so well, he would be ridiculously wide open. Even when teams are paying attention to him, whenever the safety's spying him, the whole nine. So I think it comes down to the receiving core, and the defense is just trash anyway, right? Chris Jones didn't play yesterday, did he? Right? Chris Jones was out again yesterday, and they won. So that kind of says a lot because Jones is 12 sacks a year. So
he's a defensive anchor.
Right. So I think there's going to be they're going to have to. And the problem is when those big time defenders got cut, like Gilmore and Jalen from Dallas. Now they didn't go to the Chiefs. So that means the Chiefs aren't that team that people want to go to when they're a big time free agents. And that's a little bit worrisome because there will be other players who will get cut, right? Maybe from the Patriots, right? So I think right now I'm not attracting players who are just getting on the market, and two, the receiving core is just not as sharp as they used to be in the past.
That's an excellent point, C-Mac. That's an excellent point. Typically, when you're a front runner, you're going to attract all loose ends.
Yeah.
And the kid, forgive me, what's the kid out of Dallas? His name got cut.
Jalen something, right?
Jalen Smith.
Yeah, Smith.
Good player. Would have definitely helped that KC front seven. Would have absolutely helped them.
Where he goes.
That defense sucks, yo.
Yeah.
This is trash.
That defense sucks.
Yeah. Les, how are we feeling about KC, man? Are you more at ease now? Are you a little more comfortable, or is it still?
I think a good sign is that they did what they were supposed to do against a team they should beat the way they should beat. If that game was closer, if they didn't come out of struggling early on, then I'd have some worries. But they did what they were supposed to do. Are they a Super Bowl team? Probably not. But they're going to be in the playoffs. I think they're going to win a game in the playoffs, maybe two, depending if they get better by the end of the season. So I think they're too talented, even though they're not deep. But you got arguably the best QB, not named actually. Even with Tom Brady, he's one of the better QBs in the league, and you win with QB play.
He's the best.
Yeah, so I unless they start losing division games to like Denver and whatnot down the road, then I wouldn't be concerned as if I'm a fan. I think they got it. They have time to get better, especially with an extra game in the NFL season this year.
And they're one game out of first place, right? They're one game out of first place. And you know what happens to the Raiders in the second part of the season anyway.
Yeah, the Raiders have so much turmoil right now. Well, I mean, who knows if that coaching change is going to work out for them.
They balled
who knows
up
if the
yesterday.
Chargers? Yeah, who knows if the Chargers are going to keep up? I'll give them credit. Who knows if the Chargers are going to keep this pace up? I think they did what they were supposed to do. If they didn't and they kind of got by, I'd be a little concerned. But they did what they were supposed to do.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I was a little worried because I wasn't seeing the attitude. It's never about the X's and O's, never about the play. I just didn't like the attitude. It's kind of lackadaisical. Wasn't the sense of urgency. I think AD touched on a couple weeks back that they think that they could just turn this on. And we've seen some players who can do that. But I don't think this is the right sport to try that because momentum is so critical. You're going to be heading. You really don't want to end up in Tennessee in December, having to deal with Derrick Henry with a head full of steam all night. You don't want to end up in Tennessee. You don't want to end up in Buffalo in December and incur a snowstorm.
You don't want to end up in Tennessee with Brown and freaking Jones,
right,
on the outside either.
You don't want to end up in any of these perennial AFC contenders. You don't want to be there in January. That's not where you want to be. Mm-hmm. So if you're serious about this, buckle down. Show us what we know you can do, despite all the flaws, despite the defense, despite whatever's going on mentally over there. I'm not going to count them out until they're out. I'm not going to say that Pat Mahomes can't, get this offense to a level that we've seen him get it to, and really wipe out anybody. I've watched these guys come from behind double digits almost every playoff game that they've had in 2 trips to the Super Bowl. Them down 2 touchdowns is laughable. None of us have ever been comfortable seeing Pat Mahomes down 2 touchdowns. Even in the Super Bowl, we knew. I knew that San Francisco was going to lose. I knew that Houston was going to lose. You have to be able to run on 99 octane with those dudes for 60 minutes. A lot of teams can do it quick. A lot of teams can shoot their load kind of quick, get ahead of them, but they're going to run on 99 octane from the first snap to the last snap. Can you match that? Can you match
your point is great because even in the Super Bowl when they got mopped last year, 2 of their best offensive linemen didn't play.
Right.
That allowed for Tampa Bay to just be relentless.
Right. Notice I didn't touch that. I think now, granted, Tampa won that game. Tampa won, and they deserved to win. And I didn't really touch that game, but I still consider that a bit of an anomaly. Obviously, Pat wasn't 100%. He wasn't doing the things that we know him to do. But they lost. They got their asses kicked. Tampa Bay handed them that ass with them. But I don't think that we'll ever see them lose in that fashion again. I hope we don't. That wasn't really great for viewership. But
I'm looking at their schedule.
When it matters.
I'm looking at the Chiefs' schedule, and let's say they lose to the Titans. I don't think they will, but let's say they do. And then maybe something funky happens. I don't think Green Bay is going to beat them at home in Kansas City. They should be able to beat the rest of these teams. I'm not scared of the Cowboys. I'm not scared of the Bengals. The Broncos don't scare me.
I tell you, that's a tough ass schedule KC got, man.
You think
every week? Like, look at the.
I think outside the
5
Titans,
teams that's really.
I think outside the Titans and the Packers, they can go on a run, dog. Like I'm looking at.
They'll beat Denver, right? They'll beat Denver, right? Yep. They'll beat the Chargers. Chargers got exposed yesterday, right?
I think they can beat the Chargers.
But this is the thing. It's a matchup thing. It's a matchup thing with the Chargers.
Right.
See, with the Chargers is
they have the Steelers on their schedule.
They're the worst defensive rushing team in the NFL going against the Ravens. The Chargers give up over 160 yards a game on rushing. I knew the Ravens was going to beat the brakes off the Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
Just off that stat right there.
Mm-hmm.
When you give up 160 yards, and then you got one of the best rushing.
You got the Ravens coming to town, bro.
Number 1 rushing team in the league currently.
No, they're not the number 1 rushing team in the league. No, the Cleveland Browns is the number 1 rushing team in the league. Yeah. Go look it up.
They won't be for long because they got some running back injuries. If I'm not mistaken.
Currently.
Currently, go look it up. The Cleveland Browns have the most yards on the ground. Cleveland Browns.
Copy.
With Chubb and Hunt. I want you to look at. I
want to say it's like 174 yards a game, Noah.
Why weren't the Ravens really good? Backfield?
I was shocked when I seen it. Like, oh God.
Do you see the Ravens backfield?
Yeah.
It looked like the 2013 Pro Bowl.
Yo, they're like the Lakers, bro.
You see Le'Veon? You see Le'Veon Bell with the touchdown? Yo, why he look? Yo, he even got smaller, yo.
If Kenneth Jackson,
shout out to Booby.
Yeah, that dude's gotta be happy with this.
I love the Ravens.
Shout out to
my team. My second team is definitely the Ravens. I love the Ravens. I love Harbaugh. I love their defense. I mean, how the hell they let go of homeboy who's on the Patriots now? I don't forget half the Ravens defense is wiped out. The corners are wiped out, and these dudes are still able to play that fake zone and beat the shit out of you in the first 5 yards until they get the pressure. They still blitz more than anybody else. What do y'all think of the Ravens? I love them. They're fun to watch.
Well, I'll never love the Ravens. Just I don't know. I just won't. But they look impressive.
Harbaugh has Belichick's number.
No, it's not anything to do with that because we've beaten them too in the playoffs. It got nothing to do with that.
Matters.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm just
They did the same though. They beat the Patriots.
I'm just true to my home team. So I'm not ever really gonna be like, oh yeah, But they do look really impressive. Like they look really impressive. Like to be honest, like that could be the team that KC really has to worry about. Like that should be the team they have to worry about.
Their defense. So I want people to think about how great Lamar Jackson has been throwing the ball. Like he's not throwing the ball okay. He's throwing the ball incredible. And now he has the sidearm throw to throw under
for 400 yards, I think, yesterday.
He broke a couple records.
No, he did not throw for 400 yards yesterday.
No, not yesterday. The week before, he threw for 400.
Oh, okay, my fault.
He went 31 for 36, bro.
85% completion rate on a 400-yard passing game with 4 touchdowns. Never been done before. Shout out Lamar.
Never been done for the man who they said should be a wide receiver.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And I have criticized him for his throwing. I was like, he has to throw the ball better. And he's not.
I think Les, that feedback might have been you, Les.
Your headset wilding, Les.
But you poured it in some wine?
Les got a nice Chianti over there.
So to support the question, if the Ravens are for real, who is your power rankings in your top 4 in the AFC? AD.
I got Ravens. I don't have them ranked, but if you want to just get top.
Yeah, this is your 4.
Ravens. Ravens. It's tough because I think the AFC is wide open right now. I was gonna say the Chargers until the Ravens beat them down.
I think they're still top 4.
But I still got them top 4. I'm not really too up on too many AFC teams right now.
Buffalo, AD, Buffalo.
I think Buffalo is the best team in the AFC.
Okay.
And I got Tennessee.
I got the Chargers, Buffalo, Tennessee, and the Ravens as well.
I'm not gonna discount Patrick Mahomes. Half a Billy. I'm gonna get the Chiefs in there somewhere in my top 4 simply because I know what the ceiling is, and their ceiling is higher than anybody else's. I got the Chiefs. I got Tennessee. I got Buffalo, and I got Baltimore. And the Chargers at a close 5.
But I got the Bills. I kind of feel them a little bit more defensively than the Ravens. I just do.
Fuck out of here, Tim.
No, I'm laughing at Tim.
I got the Ravens. I got the Ravens second. I got the Chiefs. I'll believe they're not a top 4 team when it actually happens.
Right. Straight up.
And I guess I'll say the Chargers, but yeah, I guess the Chargers. Yeah, Chargers. Those would be the 4 as of right now, I would say.
Fair. Fellas, we're gonna stay on NFL road, man, and I mean, we kind of have to. I think it's going to be a pretty redundant conversation, but these guys are doing their thing. They deserve some mention. Um, our guy down in Arizona is getting it done. Only undefeated team in the league. Guy's making winning plays. He's playing winning football. He's got a team inspired. I like what's going on down there, man. I think this little segment's going to just be a little more of the same. I know we're all excited about the young brother down there getting it done, looking good. But you know what? Let's add a twist in there. Let's not talk about them. Do we believe that they can get there? Do we believe that this team can possibly represent the NFC come February? So we know they're undefeated. We know they're doing their thing. We're gonna put this little spin on it. Les, I want you to start us off.
They got a shot.
They got a shot. Okay.
They got a real strong shot.
Okay.
I like Kyle a lot. They got a shot, and when you have the quarterback, that means so much. So I think they got a shot, but they're gonna have to get through the GOAT.
Right. Absolutely. Greatest pilgrim ever. Word to AD.
I think they could represent the NFC in the Super Bowl if they stay healthy. They got a lot of dudes that just don't, right?
They got good depth too.
They got good depth. Now, as constructed right now, they have zero weaknesses. As constructed right now, they have zero weaknesses.
Yeah.
And the thing is with Kyler Murray and the way he throws the ball, he's so skilled throwing the ball. And the reason I know is because when he's throwing when he's throwing those, he's not putting too much on the ball. Right? He knows how much oomph to put on the ball. And he takes them off and he'll lob it. It'll drop right in their hands. So it's almost as if he knows his personnel so much. Like he is the hottest quarterback. I love Lamar, but he's the hottest quarterback right now, and he has a lot of weapons. And you know what? They're still going after people. They just signed somebody last week.
No, they traded for Ertz.
They traded for Ertz. Right. So that means that they have the eyes on one thing. And honestly, they do have that look. They do have that look. The one problem they're gonna have, I don't think Tampa Bay could beat them, right? But you know who I think can is the Rams. And I know they beat the shit out of the Rams, right? But I think the Rams, they did a lot of gambling in that game. I think the Rams is just going to rely on their front four the next time and just really, really try to scheme them up. So I think their one weakness will be the Rams.
Can I ask you one quick question? Because you said you don't think they have any weaknesses, and if I'm misquoting you, my apologies.
That's secondary.
I think youth could be, inexperience could be a potential weakness if they run up against a coach that can take advantage of those things.
I mean, in the secondary.
One second. I didn't see who it was that chimed in down at the bottom, but they said if Kyler Murray can stay healthy. There we go. It was Tim. Tim said it. Okay. He's a slight man. I've watched Kyler since Oklahoma. I don't really know too much about injuries with Kyler.
Yeah, he had an ankle last year, right?
Yeah, and he's not trying to run people over. He knows how to slide. He's not gonna.
Tim might be confusing him with Tua.
So
can I tell out of there every week?
Hold on. Can I tell Tim to get the fuck out of here again? Tim, get the fuck out of here, man.
Nah, what it is. Now, what Tim's saying, he's just going off his build and his stature and all that. You know what I mean? Tyler he's the same small.
Size as Drew Brees. He's the same size as Drew Brees.
Right, he's small and all that, but at the same time.
He had a shoulder last year. Okay, Tim. My bad, brother.
But at the same time, he really doesn't put himself in that situation.
Right.
In tough situations like the other quarterbacks do.
Right.
I think they definitely have a shot.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're gonna do it. I don't think so. But I definitely got them playing in the NFC Championship. I do agree somewhat with Corey saying that even though the Rams beat the brakes off them, I mean, the Rams
They
got
beat the
their
brakes
ass
off
whooped
the
by
Rams.
them.
Right.
Yeah, the Rams got their ass whooped by them, but they do match up well with them.
Right.
They do match up well.
I don't think the Rams will play that bad again this year.
But also, I don't think the Rams will beat the Bucks like they did either.
Right. Right.
So
I mean, it's
And the Rams
like
out
this.
all come
Stafford.
down to the Messiah. You got to beat the Messiah.
Here's one of my concerns about the Cardinals. I think that they can make the NFC Championship. I do not think they could advance beyond that. Here's why. Their closest game this year was against Minnesota. And Minnesota, we know, has a hell of a tandem at wide receiver with the young man Justin Jefferson out of LSU, and of course Adam Thielen, one of the baddest pilgrims in the league. And I watched Kirk Cousins do whatever he wanted. Kirk Cousins, I believe they put up over 30 points on them, and it was mostly through the air. It was mostly through the air. Jefferson had a big game. Thielen had a big game. I literally watched Kirk Cousins just sit out there and souffle. He just cooked up the whole game. He dropped 30 plus on them. So what that tells me is if you're struggling and you can't contain Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen, what the fuck is going to happen when you've got
And
Mike
two of the
Evans?
top 6 wide receivers in the league, though.
I wouldn't put the top.
Jefferson is ridiculous.
He is,
maybe top 10, but
Right.
Jefferson, they're ridiculous.
but moreover, C-Mac, what's gonna if you couldn't figure out Justin Jefferson, a second-year player, and Adam Thielen, not the fastest guy, what's gonna happen when you got to go see Gronk, Chris Godwin, AB, Mike Evans, OJ Howard? Like, what's gonna happen when you have to deal with that and you couldn't even contain 2 guys? When you got 4 options and unlimited balls coming out faster than you can get there, what's gonna happen then? So
Well,
that's
I
one
think
of the reasons.
I think their offense is going to keep. I think the offense will keep Brady off the. I think they can outscore Tampa. I'm not like I want Godwin played terrible against Philly. Like
Well, they have so
they
many
don't all
weapons. One of them is always going to look terrible. There's too many mouths to feed, so one of them is always going to have a drop off. So you're either going to see 2 or 3 of them go off, and one of them just take the back burner. And you're going to see that constantly because they've got 4 viable weapons to catch that ball. It's only one ball.
Corey, they're the only team in the NFL that has 3 wide receivers that have over 400 yards receiving.
Right.
Fact. And they're not even healthy. Like Gronk would probably have another 300.
And Gronk has like 175.
Brady is pretty close too. I mean, they're dangerous, man. But
Yeah.
I don't. I don't.
We didn't even mention Antonio.
I did.
Oh, you did. My fault.
Yeah, I said all 4 of them.
No.
My fault.
Antonio Brown leads them in yards a game.
He's doing dirty things in that slot to people, man. You got to think. This is AB. This is AB getting your 3rd best defender one-on-one.
Right.
It's food.
Pretty.
It's food. Every trip, it is food. This is. I mean, it's gonna be real. It's gonna be real interesting. The NFC.
There's gonna be a lot of incentives for my guy AB this year.
Oh yeah, big checks. The cardboard joints. He's running all them. He's checking all them boxes. Man,
I know you a stat guy. Did you look at their stats?
Who's that?
The 3 wideouts.
Oh yeah, it's filthy.
Yo, it's ridiculous.
It's filthy, bro. Like, and it's so crazy because I watched what that trio did in Pittsburgh last year, and it was so impressive. I believe it was all 3 of them had over almost 900 yards. All 3 of them had over 8 touchdowns. And I was like, that's impressive. That's impressive to feed that many miles because wide receivers are divas. If you can get 3 of your receivers close to 900 yards and all got 8 more touchdowns for this, I was like, you will probably never see that again. And then here comes the greatest pilgrim of all time saying, "Hold my beer." You feel what I'm saying? Oh, he did that. Watch this. That's just Ben. That's just little Ben. I son him. Let me show you how to really do it. It's getting real spooky down there in Tampa Bay. I got laughed at this year when I drafted Tom Brady as my fantasy quarterback. And everyone's, oh, he's 45, 48 years old. The greatest quarterback of all time just had a full off season with the greatest wide receiver court in the league. Yeah, give me Tom Brady, please. Put him on the board.
Yeah, I took Tom Brady with my pick too.
Yeah, there was no way I wasn't.
I got Mahomes.
Nothing wrong with that either, but I said, I'm
going
to get Mahomes production in the 6th or 7th round. Shout out to Tom Brady, greatest pilgrim of all time. Shout out my man AD.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna bang this left off of the NFL, and we're gonna get on NBA Boulevard. We got the season kicking off tomorrow. I'm excited. I know y'all are excited. For those who are not chimed into the group, we're very basketball heavy over there. A lot of basketball guys. Again, my guy C-Mac, you already know his basketball resume, his basketball acumen. We got my guy AD, of course, a D1 talent, and of course, working on that Masters, man. It's the brain and the bronze, man. Shout out AD again. We do basketball, man. We all passionate about it. I mean, we love our football, but fellas, man, the season is kicking off tomorrow. We got 2 big games tomorrow. How y'all feeling about this season? How y'all feeling about tomorrow's games? We're gonna start with AD.
Like I told y'all, I've been excited for the NBA season. It felt like a big soap opera, free agency. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They did a great job of marketing the season this year.
Y'all see that commercial?
You know what I mean? So
That commercial was fire.
Like they've been doing a great job marketing. I can't lie. Adam Silver definitely been doing his thing. You know what I mean? Shout out to David Stern after taking over from him.
Right.
But tomorrow, I'm not really too worried about tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like, it's one game. I don't see everybody, having all their guns out loaded. But if I had to make prediction, who got the first game again?
That's
Milwaukee.
Lakers, Golden State.
Brooklyn, Milwaukee, Lakers, and Golden State.
All right, I actually got Milwaukee tomorrow. That's just because you don't like. There's no Kyrie. We don't know nothing. They just turmoil right now. And tomorrow night, LeBron doesn't play well on opening nights.
He doesn't start the season well at all.
Yeah, he literally fills out the season. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if LeBron only has 13 to 15 points tomorrow.
Have y'all seen him in that last preseason game? The boy looks like he's in mid-season form.
Yeah, that means nothing though.
He's one of those scout above the rim.
Yeah, but then he'll see tomorrow and just see how the chips fall, see how everybody's playing, see what everybody can do, how they feeling. That's what he does. Game 1, he fills everything out.
He's a brain.
He don't really go crazy in game 1s.
Mm-hmm.
And he do win a lot of game 1s though. He does win most of his season openers. So
this is 19th AD?
19th.
This is 19th.
Unreal, man.
Shout out to him and his body. He takes care of himself. You know what I mean? Like, that's one thing about all these athletes of this era that they don't give this era's athletes credit for is they last longer than any era because they put into their body. They put in that work. Right. You know what I mean? And with that said, I got the Lake Show tomorrow night.
So I think the Nets beat the brakes off of the Bucks yet tomorrow.
Ooh.
I think they just beat the brakes off tomorrow.
Say that, Matt.
And the reason I do is just
without Kyrie.
Yeah. I think they just have so much to prove.
You saw what we did with 2 healthy superstars last year, AD.
Right. So I think the Bucks.
KD.
And I don't think the Bucks are better.
Walking through that door.
I don't think the Bucks are better than they were last year. I think Brooklyn's better than they were last year even without Kyrie. I don't think Brooklyn wins at all unless they have Kyrie.
Watch your mouth. Okay.
I think that the Lakers win a close one, and they won't look dominant.
Whoever said that, Facebook user, I hear you. Say that.
That's why they're anonymous. They're afraid to say that shit in public.
Say that. Love.
The reason I think the reason that I think it'll be a close game, the Lakers should technically blow them out. Honestly, I think the Lakers should be dominant. But the problem I have with the Lakers is how they use AD. I hate watching AD play. I hate the way Anthony Davis plays basketball. I hate
offensively, right?
Offensively, right? Yeah, I hate how they give him the ball 15 feet away from the basket and he gets pushed out. I hate how they let him face up and he just shoots the jumper because he don't want to put it on the floor. I hate how he doesn't try to catch. I hate how they don't move him without the ball to get cheap ones. Nothing is easy for Anthony Davis unless dudes like Rondo and Westbrook hit him with alley-oops and get him cheap times.
Whoever just said that, Facebook user, Bucks losing PJ was bigger than a lot of people think. Absolutely. We discussed that on one of these shows. Again, you don't got no one out there who's going to give KD a hard time. No one stops KD, but you've got nobody who's going to go out there and give him a hard time. Great point. Whoever said that, shout out to you.
Shit, he didn't give him a hard time either. He gave the nigga 50 and 40 something.
That's a fact, but
he's also responsible for that air ball in the end.
No, that was Drew Holiday.
That tired air ball.
No, that was Drew Holiday, Courtney.
He's talking about the overall fatigue.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Drew Holiday, he's gonna pick whoever up. Go ahead, Les.
Yeah, I think the next.
I just want to make sure we tap in with our listeners and our Facebook users. Yeah, I mean, whoever's tapping in, we want to make sure we acknowledge them.
It's all public, man.
I think the Nets got that.
Yeah, no, especially Nets gang. Whoever said that, salute.
I think the Nets got it. I think they, Harden's healthy. He's in shape now. You made some good pickups. Yes. I think the Bucks got a little worse. I think the only thing that's going to stop the Nets from getting to the finals is them. Like, they get hurt or something like that. But I'm really excited to see Golden State. I'm not going to say they're going to win, but I'm excited to see if Curry and Thompson.
Clay's not back.
Oh, he's not going to play? Oh,
no,
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Curry and Poole.
Yo, don't sleep on Poole.
Yeah. I'm not sleeping on him, but I was
he averaged 18 points a game last year.
I was excited to see Clay.
He got 18 last year, AD? I thought it was 16.
He got 12 last year.
No, it was 18. Like, it was 18 towards, like, remember when they got hot? And they got into the play-in game?
For the season, no, AD, I think it was like 12.
13. I think it was 13 or 12.
Because I have him around 16 to 18 this year.
So when's Clay coming back?
January, earliest.
Oh, I guess I can see him for a while then. But I got the Lakers winning this one.
You got to be patient with him, Les, man. He just
that's ACL back.
Yeah, he did.
I felt for some reason I felt like he was gone for a while. I don't know.
Because he was about to come back, and then he tore, and then like the week before the season, he tore his Achilles.
June of 2019.
I forgot about that.
We haven't seen Clay in 2.5 years.
Yeah, and that's why I was kind of. I really wanted to see him tomorrow night. So I might not even stay up and watch that game anymore. But but the Lakers they're gonna win. I think what you said earlier, AD, about LeBron taking his time. Yeah, he tends to do that. He likes to see what's going on. I even seen him say it like multiple times after games. He's like, it's the first couple of games, blah blah blah, and then he comes out and he kills.
He's 36.
Yeah, that's true.
Before the 36, though, he literally fills he fills out his team.
Yeah, he's been saying that for at least 7-8 years.
He's up there. That's a CPU. He's just processing all that upstairs.
Yeah,
but you know what I would like to see? I would like to see this.
You bring to the table. You know what you're gonna bring to the table. LeBron before the last 2 or 3 years, he was 27-7-7. Like, you knew he was.
I would love to see
15 years.
I would love to see LeBron make a statement though tomorrow night. Like, is it me, or maybe I'm being old or whatever, but is it me, or do NBA players don't make statements anymore?
Nah, they still make statements, but it's not.
Giannis doesn't?
Yeah, it's just not how we looked at it, because the game is different, Les. That's all it is.
One of the greatest statements you can make is a 50 ball to close it out. That's a statement.
That's true.
After saying this is the way I'm gonna win,
right?
Like, you can discredit the Bucks winning all you want.
No, I'm not.
Like,
I'm not.
No, not you.
Do that.
I'm talking about the general public.
I am.
Nah, you can't. Why? Because
he's upset. He's gonna be upset that he feels that if he didn't have that injury, that series is done in 5 or 6.
See, in my opinion.
It's a lot of ifs. Golden State's first year, when Golden State won the first year, they didn't play against everybody's starting point guard.
You're absolutely right.
If I'm Giannis, I would take it personal to open up against the Nets, and I would cover KD the whole game.
He put a hard G on that shit, bro.
No, you guys really, what is wrong with you?
He put a hard G Giannis.
AD, what he said earlier, I gave him a little what?
Yo,
y'all think you're wilding out.
Oh.
Yo, I'm about to start talking like Dame Dash on this joint.
Oh man.
Oh, sh-
Yeah, man. You already know how I'm rocking first game. We gotta get our lick back, man. And I saw what we did against them with 2 healthy superstars. So I'm looking to see a little bit more of that tomorrow. I think Kyrie. I don't even want to get down this rabbit hole with my point guard, but I think he might have an angle here, man. You know, the point was made that Brad Beal is, of course, unvaccinated, and he's able to play in New York and San Francisco, where it's mandatory for those players. They're going to have to answer some tough questions to kind of validate how that's even taking place. You know what I'm saying? If New York City has this mandate in place, you have to have the mandate. You can't pick and choose how to employ it. If Brad Beal, who's publicly unvaccinated, gets to play in New York, why can't Kyrie? I think they're going to have to answer for that, and I think that gets my guy back on the floor. Even without him, I think C-Mac was right. We got better. Obviously.
Y'all did.
Right.
Y'all definitely got more versatile. Definitely.
Right. And, man, the Patty Mills pickup was – I really, really, really like that. I mean, not for nothing. I'm sad we had to lose Mike James because I love the way Mike James fit into our offense in that second and third unit. But I'm excited to have Patty Mills, especially watching him in that Olympic game where he went out there and gave USA a clean 40. Obviously clean 40, washed it.
That kid plays big, man.
I'm excited to have a little more depth in that front court. Most importantly, I'm glad the man LaMarcus Aldridge. I'm glad his heart is good. I've seen a lot of brothers. You know what I mean? That heart situation is a serious situation. So first and foremost, I'm glad that the brother's healthy and he's well. Then I'm excited he's back on Atlantic Ave with the gang. You already know Patty Mills pick up so much in the playoffs. Underrated pickup. Absolutely, Facebook user. Hey, Wiz, man, we got to start seeing who these people are, man, to give them their just due and give them their kudos, man. Absolutely, great point. Whoever just chimed in with us.
Did Kevin Durant once say that Joe Harris was the best shooter he played with?
Yes.
I think Patty Mills is gonna try and put an argument up for that.
Wait. So.
Yo, you stupid. I know he's about to go.
Kevin Durant just gets away with some bullshit.
Yeah, he said some ignorant shit.
Whatever he be smoking, because he just be saying some bullshit. I give it to him, though. He'll ride for his teammates. But that shit right there, man, he should be thrown in jail for that shit.
I rock with Joe. Obviously, I rock with Joe. I think
Joe cost you the series, right, Les?
Joe.
You got to relax. Like
Joe got to embrace his new role,
right?
And that's going to be different, and it's going to be humbling,
right?
And I don't know because as a person who's played basketball, right? When you're on the
that's my dog right there. Shout out West, man. I see you.
Man.
You already know. Bang bang Nets game. You already know.
Wes is somewhere. I don't even want to see his Google search bar, bro.
His Google search is nasty.
Anti-LeBron.
Yeah,
LeBron sucks. LeBron overrated.
My man Wes is in a Kobe Snuggie right now. He in a Kobe Snuggie right now.
Wes really hates LeBron, yo.
There's dudes who don't like LeBron in the joint, but they at least acknowledge that LeBron can play. Wes thinks that LeBron and Popeye Jones are the same player, bro.
Yo, why you say Popeye Jones? Yo, my first ever basketball game I went to, my pops made me go see Jason Kidd. Like, yo, you want to play in the NBA? You gotta play like Jason Kidd, right? And Popeye funny. Jones was there, right? Yo, that is one terrible NBA player, bro.
Terrible at best.
Terrible at best. He was a soft pro, though. Don't get me wrong. He played hard and all that, but yo, it's
terrible. Yeah, man. So you already know how I'm rocking game one. I'm with the gang, man. Always. Game two, Michael's son ain't coming through that door, man. Clay's not coming back. And even when he does come back, we don't know what it's going to look like. It's been 2.5 years since Klay Thompson has played meaningful basketball. And I'm not willing to just say, here come the 2015 Warriors again. Popeye John, Jesus Christ.
Y'all
opened that floodgate.
Yo, he's trolling now. He's trolling.
Wes is disgusting. What's the type of dude that will throw up and drink that shit, bro?
Wes is the manifestation of a dangerous combination. A hater with Wi-Fi. You put a hater and Wi-Fi together, these are the results. This is terrible.
Wes has gotta be trolling.
Jesus
He's
Christ.
trolling.
he's like
There's
the
no way he
crime boss
believes
at
that.
the end of a
A
bad video.
hater with Wi-Fi is dangerous, man.
There's
It's
no
very
way he
dangerous.
believes that.
Jesus.
Yo, put a picture up of Popeye Jones, yo.
Second
I don't want to see that.
second game, like I said, Clay's not back, man. Even if he is back, I don't know what it looks like. I think the Lakers win convincingly, like they should. They absolutely should, given the star power that they have. I do know that Lakers bench is going to be smelling like big Geritol and icy hot and all kind of whatever old people use. That bench is going to smell like it.
Limestone.
So you're not worried about Westbrook just a little bit?
Fam, I'm a Westbrook guy. I'm a Westbrook guy all the way. I don't think he fits that team.
Okay, that's fair. That's objective of you.
I mean, not for nothing. My cousin hit me. My cousin on Flatbush. He hit me. Said, "Yo, if we got to move Kyrie, I won't mind sending Kyrie to LA and we take Westbrook and put the Thunder back together on Atlantic Ave. That'll be funny."
That would be.
Yo,
that would be.
all
That's the
jokes
team.
aside,
That should have been the team.
Yo, all
That's not
jokes
bad.
aside, though,
Feel me?
I would love to see that.
That
That's
would
not
be
bad.
crazy.
That's not bad.
Kyrie back with Bron, the gang back to OKC gang back together in Brooklyn. I wouldn't be mad at that.
Of course you
I wouldn't
would.
be mad.
That would be
That's not
very
bad.
entertaining. I wouldn't mind
And
seeing
I'm
that.
gonna be honest with you. I think I have them winning it too.
You already know. You already know.
Dude,
The only piece.
the thing on Westbrook's shoulder, if that ever happened, man.
No, the only piece. Westbrook, my God, what do you mean? Yeah. The only piece with that is we put in Westbrook at the 2, like we did Kyrie. Ball stays in James Harden's hand. Put Westbrook at the 2. Let him slash. Let him get easy buckets that way. Floor will be spaced with Harris, KD space the floor. Let Russ go crazy to the rim.
Listen, a healthy Lakers with a high functioning Kyrie though is beating that Nets team.
Nah.
Because Russell Westbrook is fouling out trying to cover that dude.
Hey, C-Mac, I'm gonna make sure that my man Wiz and the editors, they get me the little joint like Buddy got on around the horn where I could just boop, shut up.
No,
boop, shut up.
Kyrie, LeBron, and AD. Kyrie, LeBron, and AD.
Yo, Wiz, let me
Kevin Durant once said that Joe Harris is a better shooter than Steph Curry. So we already know he has a mental illness, right? We already know he has a mental illness.
Yo, you know he rides for his teammates, man.
We already know that James Harden is a little baby concert away from blowing everything, right? So, and then Russell Westbrook is already going to think it's
man. Shout out little baby, man. 4 p.m.
Nah. Make that trade if you're LA, man. Because Westbrook and LeBron have no business playing together.
Facts.
I love LeBron. But Westbrook and LeBron has no place to play. I actually think there's only a little bit of drop off if you take LeBron off the team. Because Westbrook,
there's a lot of drop off. You take LeBron off that team.
Room with AD out there. You're going to see that Westbrook and AD has.
Dude, I criticize LeBron.
Westbrook does everything.
You can't say that.
So
LeBron coming off that team. No, that team needs LeBron.
They need LeBron.
Any team you take LeBron off, you're going to see a major drop
off. If you don't see listen, without LeBron on that team, they could still win 50 games.
But they're losing the second round.
But that's the difference with LeBron. Like you get LeBron, you get elevated a little bit, but it's not crazy to think that.
First of all, I don't think they win 50 games because chances are AD is going to get hurt for a few games.
Of course, he's glass,
right? But if you have LeBron and Westbrook,
eating tickets on the court.
Just imagine that your real name is Anthony Davis and you guys hear that shit all the time.
We know who the real AD is.
We got the real AD. Not wet paper bag AD.
Right. Fellas, I wanted to save this one for last because our last subject typically has a few turns, man, and I know we're getting close with time, man. So we're just going. All things considered, man. I know y'all brothers have heard the little conversation that's been going on in the NBA world between my guy, from Brooklyn, from Coney Island, my guy Steph Marbury, and Stephen A. How y'all feel about what's going on with that, man? I have some pretty strong opinions. AD, I'm gonna start with you. I know you're gonna get it going.
I got mixed feelings.
Mm-hmm.
when I heard Steph coming at Stephen A, I was all for it. Like, hell yeah, Steph, get at him. But then when I heard Stephen A's rebuttal, I was like,
Yeah, straight up.
I was like, and he made some real key points. So if I had to pick a winner out of the debate, I'm going with Stephen A.
The second that Marbury goes back and forth with Stephen A, he's gonna lose.
Hold on, C-Mac. I got you.
And you're absolutely right, Corey. He can't do that. Like Stephen A basically told him, like, you don't want to get in this.
Stephen A is a supreme orator, and for y'all who don't know who that means, make sure you go look that up, educate yourself. I got
SAT word.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I got C-Mac closing this one out for me. So Les, we're gonna get with you.
Okay.
So I feel what you're saying, AD, but I'm gonna put a little twist to it. Why can't Stephen A talk like that when he's criticizing Kyrie for his stance or people that disagrees with his stance? Yeah, he won the debate. He cleaned Marbury's clock, if you ask me. But however, Marbury had a point, and I think Stephen A clearly knows how to communicate when criticizing players. But he does this whole act and screaming and you saying that people are idiot and then questioning their intelligence. And he tries to belittle people's point, blah, blah, blah. I'm not too big of a fan of that. So,
I get,
Stephen A won, but he should. Go ahead.
Did he belittle? But I understand what you're saying. Why you don't like Stephen A.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't do that with Stephon Marbury.
No, and it irks me because he could have addressed this if he addressed this issue properly in the first place. There wouldn't be a Stephon Marbury comment. You see what I'm saying? And Stephon Marbury is not the person to shadow box with Stephen A, in my humble opinion. But Stephon Marbury's point is still legitimate, if I'm making sense. It wasn't like, Stephen A did all these things and all that stuff for him. But the point is, there's a point there. It's just, it's not if someone else said that point, like if I don't know, I'm trying to think of someone. If Dwayne Wade made some comments about this subject, I don't know. I just threw a name out there. I don't know. But if I'm more
But why D Wade though?
I don't know. He was the first guy that came to my name, to my head.
He might got a dress on when he said it. You can't say nothing to him.
Fine. But if someone else would have said it, Stephen A wouldn't have been able to rebut it the way he did. You know what I'm saying? And then it can kind of cover his ass and run away from the actual point, because that's what he did. He kind of got away from him slandering Kyrie's opinion in motion on the whole subject. He kind of did. That's what he did in my
opinion. If you heard it, he acknowledged it quickly. He was like, he basically told him, like, you got a point with that, but let me hit you with everything I'm gonna hit you with. And he did. You know what I mean? And Stephon Marbury, like, you must have forgot, like, my dude, I'm the same dude who did your story, Coney Island. I'm the one. I didn't reach out to you. You reached out to me. You telling me I don't know nothing about sports, but yeah, you had me on your documentary.
If my voice isn't important, why was it all through your documentary?
It doesn't make sense to me, bro.
Right.
And you're right. It didn't. And even though he said, yeah, you have a point, he quickly got off of that and attacked Marbury, which he should. He's defending himself. I get it. But I just feel there was a bigger point to be made.
He still didn't attack him how he should have. Like he said, like, yo, I could bring up you eating Vaseline. I could do all that, but I'm not gonna do that. You know what I mean? I could do everything.
Horrible.
Right? I could do everything that, like, his career, how it ended in New York was atrocious, bro. Mm-hmm. Like, he was doing some real selfish shit. You know what I mean? But he didn't bring that up. He was trying to save him, but no, he still slandered him. But at the same time, he could have dug deep into Marbury. Like, let's not forget those Vaseline.
And I totally get that, and that's why technically he won the debate easily. But I still think if Stephen A wasn't addressing and trying to belittle this other person, Kyrie's point, none of this would have ever happened in the first place.
Right.
You know, I mean, that's just the way I feel about it. And I'm just kind of sick and tired of Stephen A. right now. I kind of feel Stephen A. is has an agenda with the networks. Granted, he makes all this money. I respect that. I'm not going to hate on him. I feel like he has an agenda with the league, and he is going to be on the side of the vaccine, and everyone should be vaccinated. And if you don't agree with him, you're not being smart. You're this, you're that, and you're blah blah blah. It's almost like I made a post about this. It's like they got rid of Max so no one would be there with a strong enough voice to say, Stephen, hey, this is ridiculous. Like, and he's just having this whole lane to just slander and push his agenda.
You like Max? You like Max? You thought Max?
I do, but it's not like Max is always right. But Max when it comes to certain social topics, is very strong when he talks about it against Stephen A. In my opinion,
he has Stephen A. Stephon Marbury does not have the social capital to step into that debate back and forth world with Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith is a guy who gets paid. He doesn't get paid for facts. He gets paid for an opinion.
Real quick, C-Mac, I know you're about to go off. That's why I saved you for last. I just want to acknowledge whatever's happening with us. Stephen A. has a personal agenda and vendetta against Kyrie. It sounds personal as fuck when he speaks on the topic. I can agree to that, so to say. You know, if Stephen A. has an issue with you, of course, he has a platform. He's going to make sure that he addresses whatever his issue with you is on his platform. So I could definitely see that. We appreciate you tapping in with us, whoever that was, man. We got to get to see these names, Wiz. See, somebody help us get these names going, man, so we can get these folks their proper acknowledgments.
Word.
See,
hashtag y'all names, something.
Right. For in the meantime, if y'all tapping in with us, man, just put a little notation in who it is so we can acknowledge you properly. Appreciate y'all tapping in, of course. C-Mac, I saved you for last for a reason, man. I know you're about to do your thing, man. Set us up.
So Stephen A. is paid to rationalize the black agenda to white America. He is there to soften the blow whenever a black man has a opinion that's oppositional to the white agenda. That is why he gets paid. He is there to make people feel comfortable about stepping into the realm of black folks' business. Right. So that's why he is able to go off. Once you find someone in a black person who is in a weakened position like Kyrie, he will pile on. Stephon Marbury has no social capital. So he can't win that. He's in a lose-lose going at Stephen A.
Right.
So he has no capital. Stephen A. is not going to do that to Kevin Durant. He disrespected Kevin Durant before, but 2 weeks later he came back and all of a sudden Kevin Durant was the best player in the world. This is before he ever started mentioning Kevin Durant as the best person in the world. And because LeBron did not want to be on one of his interviews, he started attacking LeBron, right? And then when LeBron, I think something happened where he's supposed to end up on the barbershop. All of a sudden, he got the Lakers right there with the Nets. He is a politician, right? He is a politician who is simply there to rationalize Black America, black language, Black euphemism, Black vocabulary, Black actions, Black culture to white audiences. That is what he's there to do. So in doing that, he knows how to make those people feel comfortable. He knows how to communicate. He yells and screams only at Black people, unless there's a white man who has an opinion in favor of a Black person. Why? Because it looks like he's shouting down and compressing that person's any white man who has an opinion in support of a Black person. So that's what Stephen A's job is to do. So when Stephon Marbury, number one, he has too much in his closet. Stephen A, and he already employed Stephen A to be a part of the documentary. Stephen A may say, hey, what about the Vaseline? I'm not going to talk about the Vaseline thing, but I talked about the Vaseline thing in not so many ways. So he's very crafty, and you cannot get into that realm. What Marbury should have done is to go and get backed by just an equivalent powerful force like the writes an op-ed in the Players Tribune. Go to the Atlantic, right? Put it in writing, right? Go to Twitter with it. But the second he puts himself in a situation where he has to look like he's going toe to toe in a debate forum with Stephen A. to sort of get some extra likes, he has set himself up to fail. He is in a can't-win situation against a super coon like Stephen A. Smith.
Excellent point, C-Mac. Excellent point, man. I knew you was gonna had a guns loaded for that one. Tim, I see you, and Wes, I also saw your comment as well. So I knew C-Mac was gonna kind of prep us for that, man. So shout out to C-Mac, shout out to Wes. Tim, I saw the comment too, man. Not sure I necessarily agree with it, but I definitely saw it. I'm gonna close this out on this. I think in sports, in corporate America, in politics, we oftentimes misconstrue Black visibility with Black representation. We watch these television shows and we see Stephen A. Smith and we kind of automatically want him to identify with some of what we have going on. And that's not necessarily the case. First and foremost, Stephen A. Smith is not a basketball player. He's not an athlete. He's a journalist. His job is to do exactly what he does. And that's why they pay him as handsomely as they do, because he does it well. However, whether you like him or not, he does his job extremely well. He's going to create newsworthy information if there is none. Stephen A. Smith is a master at what he does. I love the term my guy C-Mac used, and it was social. What was it, C-Mac?
Capital.
Social capital. I love the way he used that, because Steph Marbury just does not have enough in regards to Stephen A. Smith. He doesn't have a platform big enough. He doesn't have the wherewithal to go ahead and get into that war of words with Stephen A. Smith. And Stephen A. Smith knew that, and Stephen A. Smith did what he was supposed to do, I guess, in that situation as a man. I think they both made very valid points, and I believe Les touched on that. I believe AD touched on that. When I heard Steph Marbury go off, a lot of my family's still in Coney Island, so I heard him and I agree with him. But of course, like AD said, when Stephen A. Smith spun the block with more information, with more facts, it was like, okay, there's a lot of good points being made. I think where we didn't shed enough light here is the fact that Steph Marbury was saying that because Stephen A. Smith never played basketball, he should not be entitled to an opinion. And I believe it was Molly who was on stage with him and said, what does that do for women? Because women have never logged a single minute of NBA basketball. Am I not worthy to be on the show? Do I not deserve this job? Should I not be able to touch on these subjects simply because I didn't play? And that stems down, obviously from ESPN, from the grand schemes, even to our group, the S&T. We got a bunch of ex-ball players in there, from the league all the way down to local legends. And, we see these comments all the time. Like, how does my understanding of something become compromised due to lack of experience? Now, a lot of us can understand things very well and maybe not have the experience. There's a lot of situations in life where you shouldn't be discounted simply because of a lack of experience. You know what I mean? That's the way college works. We send all these kids to college to go get a piece of paper to state that they know how to do something, and they will get the opportunities way before the guy who's been doing it for 20 years, simply because they have the understanding and they have that understanding on paper. That was one of the points that I really wanted to highlight, because I think Steph was wrong there. And I know a lot of hoopers who think that way. I know a lot of athletes who think that way. I played football my whole life. You know what I mean?
And to your point, I don't mean to cut you off.
Mm-hmm.
Just because there's a prosecutor in the courtroom, there's a lot of people who works for that particular firm.
Facts.
It doesn't mean, so just because the lawyer is out there defending their client or prosecuting a client, it does not mean that the people who put together the case are unqualified.
And that's just a bit of professionalism, right? Fair to say? That's professionalism. I'm a financial advisor. Before I prepare recommendations to a client, trust me, I sat down with an accountant. Trust me, I sat down with an estate attorney. Trust me, I sat down with other professionals to really hammer home my points when I make this presentation to my client, whether an individual or corporation. Police. When police get to a crime scene, guess who's there? Forensic investigators. If there was fire involved, guess who's there? Guess who shows up anyway? Fire department, EMTs. It's a collective to go ahead and produce really accurate information. It's very rare that just one person just hammers everything home. And I mean, there's some professions where it is, but I just gave some pretty critical examples on a day-to-day. It just doesn't happen that way. And I think Steph was wrong there, because man, there's some brilliant basketball minds who've never picked up a ball and bounced it. That's just a fact.
Not only that though, Stephen A is a Division II basketball player.
Talk about it, AD. Talk about it.
Stephen A played Division II basketball.
Facts.
Stephen A can shoot that rock.
Facts. Like
he played basketball. So like
and
he may have not played at the pro level, but he knows what it takes to be great at a sport. He played.
Right.
He played it. He's been around it.
Right. And I think
that comes from, again, Marbury not having that social capital my man Corey used. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Corey put that way better than me, because I think if someone else made that point, I think it could have went different.
Right.
Right. That's because he's an educated man. I mean, not too many people are on that level of education.
That's why I say
Corey.
He's a supreme orator, man, and you're just going to lose that battle when it's a war of words. You know what I'm saying? Like he said, I'm totally outclassed on the basketball court with Stephon Marbury. I couldn't hold a candle to Stephon Marbury on the basketball court. But when it comes to this, and when it comes to reporting, and when it comes to analysis, you can't take that away from Stephen A. Smith, man. I believe
the reason why, like, don't get me wrong, Stephen A. does a lot of cool stuff, right?
Facts.
But I respect what he does, like his struggle. You know what I mean, like he taught himself how to read, how to write. Like this man was illiterate. You know what I mean,
and he didn't start at ESPN.
Exactly.
No, he was in Philly for years, writing about Philly paper.
He got his career off of Allen Iverson. Like he'll tell you that he'll tell you that himself. Like,
what's real to what's I don't want to use the word real, but what's really impressive about him, he has legitimate contacts. Like we were having this debate on the group the other day about how, a lot of these guys, there might be a few that might make up a story, but they have people calling them athletes, NBA sources or employees or whatever. They're getting this information. So he knows a lot. The other day he was reading something off his phone that someone texted him.
But the thing is that he allows people he taints perspectives, right?
He does.
And you could drive an agenda through Stephen A. by giving him a scoop or whatever. He doesn't necessarily, as somebody mentioned earlier, he does in those situations. It's just like a referee, right? Referees are there to officiate the game. They're supposed to be invisible. He tries to be visible in these situations. So a lot of people like me, I think with a black man with that platform has a unique opportunity to lend a more comprehensive perspective of the black experience, and is not without being circumstantial with it. He picks and chooses, and and we don't have that sort of, once again, social capital or even economic capital to be doing that. So you can't go back and forth. Whether or not it's his responsibility, we know in the black community it is his responsibility.
And it should be.
Why? It should be. It's inherent, right? So like for him to not do that, right? I'll give you an example, right? When he was dumping on Kwame Brown, he might have lost that. You want to know why? Because he went and confronted and disrespected a black man who was a professional for 13 years, who was at 17 years old, was in the league and he had to go under the freaking baddest man who ever played the game, right? Mm-hmm. And he didn't give that young brother a reprieve at all. So what he did in that particular moment, it was exposed that he does have an agenda, and right. he's not preferential to people of color unless it suits his agenda. Right. Like he did the
character assassination.
He did some good shit for the HBCUs. Why? Because he went to one, and that suits his agenda. Right. But when people start tearing down other folks, and then he picks and chooses who to defend based on how it's going to impact his personal capital as a debater.
Right. And I'm gonna close it out. And I think that coincides with a lot of brothers who reach certain statuses, right? See, where you get to a place that's so big and it requires so much of you that you then have to kind of put maybe your profession or maybe your goals before being black, You know what I mean? And we see that with Michael Jordan when he can make statements like Republicans wear sneakers too. When you have an obligation, you're a young man from Brooklyn, you know what the struggle is to be a young man from Brooklyn before you had all this money. We've seen that in so many different realms where brothers will go ahead and supersede their blackness for whatever it is that they're trying to become, for whatever it is that they're inspiring to be, whatever their career path is, whatever that agenda is. So I think we see that a lot, man, and I'm glad that us brothers, you know what I mean, solid brothers, can kind of call it out. We can kind of talk about that. Man, fellas, it's always good to see y'all, man. I'm glad y'all are well. I'm glad y'all families are well. Shout out to everybody who tapped in with us. Shout out Wes. Shout out Tim. Shout out all the Facebook users that we couldn't see your name. I don't do this often enough, man, but I want to make sure that we give the team behind the scenes the proper credit. Shout out to C. Shout out to Wiz. Shout out to the commish. All those guys who make this possible, man. We really enjoy doing this. We know as much as y'all enjoy it. We all sit and talk, man. We are the intersection of culture and sports. Make sure you tap in with us on all social medias. That's S&T Sports. It's sitandtalksports.com. And make sure you're tapped into the YouTube. Make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend. Get on there with us, man. We're talking good shit. Come talk some shit with us. It's S&T, man. We signing off. We'll see y'all next time.